Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well. And join me today just for a quick video. Now, this is a quick video on the wrong ship, basically. We've got HMS Eskimo in game, which is F-75. This is problematic because this isn't HMS Eskimo in an F-75 configuration. This is actually HMS Eskimo in its G-75 configuration. And the reason we know this is because of X turret here. Now, X turret here is the 102mm anti-aircraft gun, whereas if we actually look at HMS Eskimo in the F-75 configuration, this should be a 120mm gun. Yes, it's just a little thing, but it is a major thing for the ship, because this should really be an extra 120mm gun, and we can see in the naval classes we've got, the Eskimo in the F-75 configuration is the earlier configuration. The G class of tribals, like the Hider here, wrong button, preview, that's the one I wanted, is in its G configuration. And in the G configuration, it had some extra anti-aircraft guns and this turret here. Now, the other thing in the G configuration is they did slightly lower the smokestacks, things like that. But another major thing is the rangefinder. Now, it still has the coincidental rangefinder, and it still has the conning tower. However, it has the radar system now. Now, with the Eskimo, it actually had the conning tower in front, and then behind it, it had the platform for the rangefinder. So if we actually go back now, ta-da, we can see that it's got this setup on there. So, with this, it should have an extra, basically, radar system on top. And it used a, I think it was a UHF radar system. Basically, it was like television aerials. VHF, UHF, I always forget which one it is. But basically, like lots of little television aerials pointing out in front of it. And that should be on top of this part here with this gun. So, what big change is it? Well, the main thing is it's a big change because this should have an extra main gun. The anti-aircraft's too powerful on this ship now, and it's missing out on the extra firepower that it should have. It's not a big change, but it is something that should be looked at, because Eskimo's an easy one to tell, because it was changed after the front section got blown off. Now, if you've never seen it, HMS Eskimo basically lost pretty much all of this section here to a torpedo, and she kept sailing. HMS Eskimo just kept going. It did not give up. Actually, no, I think it was a bit further back. I think it was actually behind I think it's C turret, isn't it? A B, B turret. Basically, around about here, it lost the whole front end of the ship, but it kept going. It kept sailing. It kept floating. An amazing feat by the crew. Eskimo was used in the Arctic convoys and actually in hunting for the turpits as well, which, interestingly enough, is actually part of what my granddad did in the war. He served on HMS Berwick, County class cruiser, and Eskimo was one of the support ships for it in the Arctic convoys. So I know a bit about Eskimo because of that, because of all the research I've done into it. So basically, it's just one of those things that is inaccurate enough to make you want to go, okay, this needs to be changed. It could be simply changed by putting this as G75. Yes, it's not correct still, but it is slightly more correct than it currently is. But in its current configuration of F-75, this ship should have 4 120mm guns. Alright, that's the end of this little nitpicky video. I just wanted to do this as a little bit of a short, just as a pointing out the differences and what's wrong with the ship. It's not a major thing, it's not something that's going to break the game, but it is something that is very important to this boat. And it's important to have things historically correct if you're making a game that wants to aim to be as realistic as possible. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you actually like this video, if you want some more videos like this, let me know. There's not there's not a huge amounts of things that are really, really wrong in War Thunder, but there are a few things. And, you know, there's going to be a few things in Naval that are incorrect because it's tricky. There's not huge amounts of information on these kind of things, but this is a relatively big one for me at least, and it's a pretty obvious one. Alright guys, until next time, this is me, Scree, out. Bye bye.